Hi, and welcome back. It's good to see you again. This video, we're going to be discussing some of the finer points of revising your R2 research project. I posted the assignment sheet for this early on. Now, I went back and posted a different one for the outline and a different one for the rough draft, but for the final draft, you want to be looking at this, okay? The very first original assignment sheet with the due dates and the topics and the grading standards. You want to be sure to look at those grading standards. But what I want to talk to you about today is the need to cite your sources. This is a research paper, so you're expected to do good, solid academic research, find the very best sources available according to the 4 criteria of timeliness, depth, authority, and citation, and then to use those to support the point you're trying to make. But there are 2 real problems you need to be aware of. First of all, number 1, be sure to cite everything that you found while doing research, whether it's an isolated fact, a piece of information, a bit of history, certainly a direct quote or a summary or a paraphrase. You've got to cite everything that you did not write. Failure to cite your sources is a form of plagiarism, and plagiarism will get you a 0. And this is a major project. This thing's worth 200 points. So I want you to do your best. Secondly, if you're going to use 5 or 6 sources, maybe 7 sources in this paper, then you've probably been reading a lot. By the end of this project, you'll probably have read 15 or 20, 25 different sources, of which you'll pick and choose only the best. But you have become sort of a minor expert on the topic. And just because you see a certain idea or a certain fact over and over again does not make it common knowledge. Now, you don't have to cite common knowledge, but be careful, because when you run across something and you read it over and over again, you think it becomes common knowledge, but really it doesn't. For example, if you're doing social media's impact on business, you may be looking about the history of social media, and you may run across this fact over and over again. 10 or 15 times you may see the fact that 6 Degrees is often considered the very first social media app. Okay, you read it 10 or 12, 15 times, you know it backwards and forwards, and so you stick that in your paper, but you have to cite it. That's a fact that has to be cited from one of your sources. Okay, so yeah, just because you know something from your research doesn't mean everyone knows it. So my best advice to you is just, cite everything. What a research paper really is, it's your idea about a topic. How does Yelp impact fast food restaurants, or how do major retailers use DoorDash, some of the business or some of the social media, dating websites, I guess are a form of social media. But narrow in, focus your topic in, and then make a point about that. And then you just say, okay, this is what I think in your thesis, not in first person, of course, it's all third person. But in your thesis, simply give your idea, and then you back that up, you support that with published authorities, with people who really know what they're talking about because they've been published, they've been cited, they've been quoted, the work is in-depth and timely. And so, so you quote them, and then you explain how that quote supports your point. And of course, your main point is your thesis, then each topic sentence has one of your subpoints. Please don't use subheads or boldface or anything like that. And you really, really, really want to be sure to format your works cited page correctly. Go to the Purdue OWL, just Google Purdue OWL and MLA. There's an example there, there's some good examples and some really good explanations. But yeah, format your works cited page correctly. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Now, this is a major paper, and it's due Monday, November the 29th, before 9 a.m. But if you wait until Sunday night to ask me a question, I won't have time to read it and get back to you, and time for you to make the changes. So be sure that you ask me questions early enough that I can respond and you can use those answers. If you have any questions, please let me know. jfly@southplains.college.edu. Thanks.